Greetings, everyone, and welcome to a very special gastro-nauseous edition of Monster Party.
Monster
Party!
Monster Party! Monster Party! Oh, hey, there's a hint for you. But of course, you know by reading all the information that we include with our episodes what this thing is about. But we're going to play our little game anyway, because we like to. It's fun.
What's that smell?
Oh my gosh, I'm hungry.
That's me. I'm Matt Weinhold.
I'm Shawn Sheridan.
I'm Larry Strothe.
And I'm James Gonis.
Oh, is that what that was?
And we all smell delicious, don't we?
I'm feeling a bit peckish.
Yeah, me too. I'm always ready to eat.
If you threw me in a vat of butter and maybe some lard and rolled over me in some breadcrumbs,
oh my God,
and started to roast me, perhaps that would be tasty.
Fuck yeah. Oh my God. I just like Larry Kiev. You know what I mean?
And as you know, there's plenty of meat on me.
You got some prime slices there.
But Shawn, if we did that with Shawn, boy, it'd be the boniest. We'd be gnawing on his leg.
Like chicken strips, kind of.
Right. He would just be like just jerky.
Yeah. But delicious though.
Jerky and jerky.
Oh my gosh. Well, with all this food talking, what do we got here? What is this all about? What is this episode?
It's very special because sometimes when we record our episodes, something gets lost or misplaced. Normally, of course, we have them all ready to go. But when we're recording a bunch of them in a row, especially when they're just with us, sometimes something can get mislabeled or included with another file. And that's kind of what happened here. So we had this episode that we recorded with something else. And for the life of me, I couldn't find it for ages. I think more than a year or so.
And we remembered that it was brilliant.
Yeah, and it was
brilliant. What happened to that episode?
It came up in conversation, and then it got to that place where we're like, did we record that? Or is that like some sort of fever dream or
was I
COVID nightmare?
Was I drinking too much and I just imagined it?
Right. Or we did a trial run, a rehearsal.
James was.
Yeah.
I think I was pretty hammered that night.
But you were great. But in any case, we had this episode and I knew that we had recorded this. I knew that my mind wasn't playing tricks. So I dug down deep into our archives and I looked through various files and I had an idea of like where it might be. And I finally found it. And you, the audience, are all the better for it because this thing is a fucking treasure. It really is. I'm telling you, had this been lost to humanity, things would be even worse than they are right now. But they're not. Things are a little better because we found it. We found a lost episode.
It's as if you found the last remaining film of London After Midnight.
Exactly. Right. Yes.
Or like the lost giant spider footage from King Kong.
Right. Yes.
It's like that.
And look, I don't want to denigrate those movies, that sequence in King Kong with the spiders or London After Midnight. I'm sure it's a very entertaining film. But you know what? I'm going to get like Larry cocky right now. And I'm going to say, I think it's better. I think it may be better. Yeah.
Wow.
No. I know I'm building this thing up way too much, but when I listened to it again, it just filled me with delight. I laughed out loud. So anyway, I guess, the buildup is probably should be over right now. And we should just tell you what it is because you know what it is already.
That's right.
And so the topic for this episode is monsters with good taste.
Monsters with good taste.
Monsters with good taste. See, it's a little play on words.
Yes, because that could mean a couple different things. We should clarify what it means.
We are speaking literally. Monsters who, if you cooked them, or not even cooked them, if you ate them,
Right.
'Cause we're not
And
going
what-
to tell you exactly
How to prepare.
something.
Right. Could be any way.
We're going to make suggestions.
Right. Right.
But monsters that if you had to eat them, or if you wanted to eat them, would they be good? Would they be tasty? What monsters would taste better than others?
Right. Whether it's barbecued or raw
Sauteed,
or
a
whatever.
soup,
And if I
raw,
remember,
as in sashimi.
we really thought long and hard about these, didn't we?
We did
Matt?
because
Yes.
this is a very important subject.
We did. And I'm telling you, there's some banter in there and there's some back and forth where, it's like, you think you've got a killer recipe ready to go. And then, you guys weigh in and like, oh, I haven't maybe thought this all the way through. But needless to say, by the end of it, I was famished. And I just wanted to eat. So it's that kind of episode. It's going to make you feel good about eating.
Cool.
Well,
Yeah.
it's also one of those topics that doesn't immediately spring to the front. Like you think about monsters, you don't think about eating them. You think you're going to be eaten by them. So
Right.
It's almost like, okay, if you go there and if you really start thinking about it, well, you might actually come up with some interesting stuff. So
Very good point, James. And also what you're saying too is that we're turning the tables on the monsters.
indeed,
That's right.
indeed.
They're the ones who are always trying to eat us. Okay, shoes on the other foot. Okay,
That's right.
and then we're gonna eat that foot.
And being that this is Monster Party, I mean, at parties you always have great food.
Yes.
Snacks
Right.
and or just, right? I mean, so this fits perfectly in that way too.
Right.
And don't you remember, guys, when you were little kids, sometimes if you had some plate that was given to you by your, folks and, eat this, and you think to yourself, oh, if I was going to eat this monster, what would I be like? And what would it taste like and stuff? So I that's what made me think of this.
Did you do that? Did you ever do that thing with like the French fries or the peas or something where you went like,
no. Oh, Matt, I swear to God, yes, I did.
Yeah. What I would do with green beans, I would pretend that they were that woman in Gargantua's.
Yes.
Right.
And I'd wrap the green bean in like a little bit of bacon, and then I'd spit out the bacon like it was her clothes.
Okay.
Oh.
Now I didn't do that, but who amongst us?
I was very lonely.
Look, well, who amongst us didn't pretend that you were the green gargantua at one time?
That's true.
Okay, and you were eating a woman, and
or gingerbread.
Only
cookies,
said here.
Yeah, gingerbread man too.
Gingerbread
that
Man,
actually
perfect,
have a
perfect.
face or a head.
Or like
Yes.
or like animal crackers, or like
Animal
Right.
crackers,
Come
right?
on, or giant eating like a little horse,
Or the
gummy bears.
Gummy
Gummy
bears,
bears.
Yeah.
and chocolate bunnies.
Oh,
of course.
yes.
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
normally you go right for the head.
That's
Right for the
Which is-
ears.
Ears. I went
with
for the ears.
Yes. Yeah. You start with the ears. So, and that's nice because that's kind of like getting back at the lepus.
Right.
Boy, I didn't even think about that. The
Yeah.
lupus,
Yeah.
But I would start at the tail though. At times,
You would. Okay.
The butt end. I don't know why.
You know what? You've always been an ass man. I've seen you checking out bunnies.
Oh no! Come on now.
Well, we did work at Playboy, so
Well, with all this food talk, man, I want to get to this.
yes.
Can we get to this episode?
Me too.
Yeah.
No, and we need to make this happen because
I've got my
I'm
knife
telling
and
you.
fork ready.
Yeah, right. I've got my napkin in my collar, like
yeah.
every kid in the Little Rascals, and
Yeah.
anytime the Three Stooges went to a society dinner, they put the
That's right.
So yeah, that's me. And so here we go. Monsters with good taste. Bon appetit. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Monsters with Good Taste.
Monsters with good taste.
Delicious.
With good taste. Now, when we say monsters with good taste, we mean monsters that taste good.
That's right.
If we cut into them and we
Yes.
took a bite,
Yes.
how would they
like,
taste?
like our opinions and our theories and which monsters would taste delicious.
But speaking of good taste, I am Matt Weinhold.
I'm Shawn Sheridan.
I'm Larry Strothe.
And I'm James Gonis.
So let's get to it.
Tasty.
Yeah.
Who's got a monster that they think would be delicious? I got a
Well,
couple
who's got the
ideas.
first-
Okay.
The first course.
The
Yeah.
first
Well, look,
course. Oh,
I like to
that.
start because I have the obvious one, which I think.
Go.
Go.
Okay. Now this one, yeah, sure, he may be the physical embodiment of pure evil, but he has to be delicious, and that's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, especially when he's burned, he's got that crispy kind of
That's true. Yeah.
roasted
Yeah.
marshmallow. Come on.
Yes.
And
Who
he's
could
so
eat-
much of him, he could feed an entire country.
But that would be, I would hate to eat too much of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man it would put me off marshmallows. And I would hate for that to happen.
No,
Well, you
but
could like, segment them out, have them every weekend.
I would
You know,
want to conjure some sort of chocolate man or something.
it's funny, Sean,
Peanut butter man.
I thought about this as the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is walking through New York. I thought to myself, thinking, "Look, he's a marshmallow man. I'm just gonna run up when that foot goes down, run up and go, grab him because it's squishy, and just go."
You could just. He's so huge, he wouldn't even notice. You're just eating him.
Eat his Achilles tendon.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
No,
Come on.
Sean, like you, I love a good marshmallow and a little toasty marshmallow. A little toasty marshmallow. I mean, think about getting a whole chunk of marshmallow.
Now, here's a question: do you think his hat is made out of like a hard candy or something, or do you think it's
no?
Okay.
That's clothing. That is
Okay.
clothing.
You
Ectoplasm.
think?
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Hardened ectoplasm,
Okay. All right.
which is like the supernatural fondant.
Wait, did they must have made Stay Puft marshmallows?
I would think. I don't.
Right?
I
I
don't
think
remember
they did.
seeing them though,
No.
They
dude.
had to.
It's
That's like
a
a
missed
no-brainer.
opportunity. It's like a missed
Yeah.
opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that hilarious? You would think that who's the marshmallow guy out there? Can't you talk to them and go, "Hey, can we do this?"
Here's the
Stay
mar-
Puft
get it. Call the marshmallow
Oh, my
people.
God.
Hello, Marshco.
Sean,
Marshcore.
it's funny though that you would start with dessert, because for me, if I was going to do a first course, I'd go with a cocktail. And not only would I go with a cocktail, I'd go with a seafood cocktail. And I'm thinking about Ibra from Godzilla versus
Oh,
the
that's
Sea
good.
Monster.
Sure.
The
Yeah.
giant shrimp. And oh my God, the funny thing about that film is when I watch it and I see Godzilla fight, I look at Ibra and go, "God, you look so tasty." I love a good shrimp cocktail. And this would
Me
be
too.
a giant shrimp. And it just of course, we got to get through the hard shell. That is true.
There's the shell, and there's also the cleaning, which that'd be a little rough because that's
Hire a whole
a
team.
giant vein of shrimp
Okay.
poo.
Yes, but
Ooh.
but Matt, with all due respect, now I see what you're saying. If you cut him like through the side or whatever, but he's gigantic. What you could do is like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Once you got that shell open, you could actually just get
cut a chunk.
chunk, and it'd be a whole thing of shrimp like this. I'd be a little cocktail sauce,
little lemon.
guys. I mean, who doesn't?
Just have like a fire hose of cocktail sauce.
Yes, and another one with butter. Another one with butter and cocktail sauce.
Or lemon.
Because
That'd be great.
it's funny. Anytime I go out to a fancy dinner, mind
Fancy.
you, not when we go to Bob's Big Boy, but I'm thinking when we go to a fancy dinner,
Fancy like Hooters.
Sean, even fancier than Hooters.
Well, I don't believe it. There is no such place.
I always like to splurge a little, and I always like to start off with a fancy shrimp cocktail. It comes in a little dish with a little shrimp around and they're on ice. And again, when I look at Ibra, I just, you look great on ice, and I'd love to chomp into you. And
a big scampi but now if you wanted to do tempura, that could be interesting. It'd be some work, and you'd need, I would say, a couple or maybe 5 bulldozers to just roll the thing over in the panko.
Sure. So you're thinking like you're going to feed a town, okay? It's like,
no, I'm going to feed me and my friends. It'd be a party. It wouldn't be a town. It's not
Matt,
the riffraff.
No,
for
Matt.
Me and my elite buddies.
Matt, Ibra is a massive. He's the size of a giant kaiju monster. I mean, it's
going to be a big party.
Yeah, I mean that's plenty for
leftovers.
I'm not feeding the town though.
Oh, now here's the problem with it though. What is the problem? No. What is the problem with fish when it's left out?
Well, do you have to really freeze it?
You need a big, giant refrigerator for leftovers.
Yes. And what I have a feeling that if we were to like get Ibra and bring him onto the shore, we start hacking him up, we start giving stuff to the townspeople for their freezers or whatnot. I think we're gonna have some leftover Ibra, and it stinks. It gets really
foul. Freeze it. You just
Matt,
get it frozen.
His carcass is out there. What do you think? Like when a whale like beaches itself, it's out there. And then
You got to work fast.
Yeah, well,
that's the key.
There's no way you'd be able to get all of Ibra. There's no way.
If you were killing Ibra knowing that you had this goal in mind, you'd line up everything ready to go. You'd have a giant pot of oil. You'd have panko, a runway of panko.
Planning.
Exactly.
Let's not let too much reality interfere here.
I love
Ibra's not real.
I love tempura. Wait, what? I love tempura so much that I think I could probably get through all of Ibra. Just give me some breaks.
Right.
But I need a little sourdough bread. A little sourdough bread to go with mine.
You could grind them up and make Ebi burgers.
Ooh,
like they have at McDonald's over there.
In Japan,
Matt, you call it McDonald's.
They should have called them Ibra burgers.
We got a dead Ibra out here. Can McDonald's come? McDonald's has the capability of coming out with big trucks.
They're organized.
And they go, you know what? Not a problem. We'll take Ibra off your hands. We're going to make some shrimp burgers.
The ultimate promotional event.
Oh my God. James, you're a genius.
I love it.
And you know what's great about this story? All of Ibra is used. Nothing of him goes to waste.
The shell. We're not eating the shell.
Well, that is true.
We could make plates out of it.
Or housing.
Yeah. Housing for the orphans.
I think when summer hits, I don't know how great that's going to be.
Well, you'd rinse it out,
I don't care how much you rinse out a shrimp shell. That shit's going to be rank.
That's true.
Come July.
All right. Well, I'm
but
sure
along these same lines of seafood kaiju, space amoeba or yog. Monster from space. Includes Gazora. It's a big cuttlefish, right?
You don't like squid?
No, I don't.
I didn't know that. Really?
I would
fried up.
Yeah, no.
You didn't like calamari?
No.
Really?
I'd be chewing it like gum. What? It's good.
Well, if it's prepared right,
awesome.
You got to do it.
If it's crispy. Yeah, fresh with lemon on it.
Yeah,
I've had baby octopus soup. It's delicious.
Do you guys remember? There's a scene when we go to Japan. And I think it's Kevin, our paid intern. He gets a little thing of these little octopuses or squids or something. And I'm looking at him, I can't go near that. And you're all, hey, try the sauce. And everyone's all, I can't. To me, it's like chewing gum. I chew and chew. I can't. So
I didn't know that you had the. I thought maybe that there were certain types of. I knew octopus you weren't into because that can be pretty chewy.
It can. It has to be done right. Yeah.
It's rubbery.
Yeah.
But
squid, if you cook it just right, it can be really tender.
What's unagi? What's unagi?
Unagi's eel.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
eel.
I can eat that.
Is there a monster eel that we're forgetting?
I'm just saying, James, if we are on that island and all of a sudden Gazora shows up and you're all, okay, guys, we're gonna cut this guy down. We're gonna cut him up. I mean, maybe I could have some broth or something if he cooks in there, but I'm not going to be going.
Well, there's also the yog crab too, though.
Ganame.
Yeah. So the crab is delicious.
You'll eat that.
I'll eat that, but his shell is really. I think his shell is harder to get into than Ibra.
It would be, yeah.
Okay,
more work.
You need a big nutcracker for that one.
Yes. I've got a kind of a weird question when it comes to the type of monster food that I'm going to bring up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure how it works because it involves the supernatural.
Okay.
And so now I've never eaten dog. I don't want to eat dog.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say I've got a situation where the closest thing to a dog would be, let's say, a wolf. Okay?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I've got a werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Larry Talbot.
Yes.
Larry Talbot gets caught in the bear trap.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Yes.
And let's say he's stuck there for a while. And he's still a werewolf. He's strong, but he's not that strong.
Gotcha.
He ends up chewing his own leg off.
Okay. Yes, I'm with you.
I find the leg.
Okay.
Immediately after.
And it's still wolf. It's in wolf
It's a
form.
wolf. It's a wolf leg. Okay.
Gotcha. I'm with you.
And I see him run off, and I know what the situation is. I know that there's a werewolf running around.
More like hop off, but okay.
He hops off. Right. I don't know if he'll grow one back. I don't know how it works with werewolves.
Right.
I've got this leg. And I'm like, well, God, I've always wanted to try a werewolf. Let's take it home. Let's clean it up. We'll skin it. We'll marinate the meat. And I'm going to eat this werewolf meat. So I eat it. And let's just say I cook it up really nice. It tastes great. Would it change into human meat the next day inside my stomach?
Well, I was going to say it might change as soon as it's cut off from him.
See, I'm with Sean.
Because if the curse is with Larry and any appendage or piece of him is removed, it's possible that could change back into human form. Because when he, as we also know, when Larry Talbot dies, he turns back. So if all of him dies and he's turning back to human, wouldn't the same thing happen if an appendage,
a portion,
even like a finger?
But we don't know that would happen.
No.
We're just surmising.
No, yes. I think it would happen.
Why?
Because it's like what Sean said. If you kill the appendage, if you kill it, and it's like it cannot function, it would go back to its original form. So Matt, my feeling is if he gnawed his hand off or foot off, and it's like, and then got out and ran away within like minutes, it's like when you showed up, it would evolve into its human foot. Now,
and even if it didn't, though, I would feel conflicted because I feel like this was a human once, even if it tastes delicious.
But that's not my question. No, that's not my question. My question is, okay, so here's a different scenario then. I don't have the cut off leg. Mm-hmm. The werewolf is coming at me. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I've got a torch and a knife, and I'm cutting into him and I'm torching him. And while I'm doing this, what I'm essentially doing is I'm cooking his meat. Okay?
Right.
But he can't die.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. And I hit him really hard. And I stun him. And while he's stunned, I just go for a bite. I find that area which is a little crispy because that's how I like my meat.
Okay.
And I just reach in with a mouthful and just go, and take a chunk out of his chest.
May I make one suggestion? Can I just ask something, Matt?
Sure.
Okay, so I see your scenario. One of the things you're doing is you're using Larry Talbot, the Wolfman, the movie that we know. What if you were to take a werewolf?
Let's take another one. Okay.
The reason I just thought of this in Cat People, where Malcolm McDowell is a cat for a long period of time, and I'm wondering if there is another movie where certain characters can change into werewolves at will or whatnot, and so then
the Howling.
That's part of what I was thinking. It's like, now what if you chose to turn into a werewolf and when you're shot you stay a wolf? Then I'd say your scenario seems to be more logical. I think
my big question here though is if I eat a piece of a werewolf, even if it's still on him, so you're saying that the minute the flesh comes loose from the werewolf, it's now human meat again?
Yeah, only because in most werewolf movies, when the werewolf is killed by silver bullet or whatever, he changes back. It seems to be the norm.
But if he's dead, but he's not dead, he's still a werewolf.
It's human meat to begin with. Because he's a werewolf, he's still part human. It's cannibalism. You can't get around that.
No.
He's a werewolf.
Matt's right. He's a wolf. He's a wolf now. And Matt, here's another thing I want to ask. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that when he's a wolf, and it's like you torture him, he goes, and you cut off his arm and it stays a wolf, and you go, I'm going to roast this arm, and you eat it. My thought was, now that you've ingested this meat, that's werewolf meat, does it affect you? Does it, or is it you have to be bitten, you have to be scraped?
Or do you become a weird kind of half?
That's the most delicious way to become a werewolf.
because maybe it's like you're not total werewolf. Maybe you're kind of like, hey, I'm wolfy. Hey, you go out and you're like big with the ladies or something.
You're like
you got a hairy chest or something.
Yeah, you're like Blade. You're like half vampire. You're like half werewolf.
Yes.
Look, I'm not saying it's going to work. But
you have given a lot of thought.
Come on, but guys, ain't it worth a shot?
Well, I see. Here's the thing. I mean, you bring up an interesting scenario. What scares me, Matt, and it scares me. It's like it's that whole supernatural thing, and part of me goes, I don't want to mess with it. And I can see it. You and I are there. You go, oh, come on, Larry, don't be such a pussy. Let's try that.
I would say that, yes.
No, yes, and I would just feel the supernatural thing, and until I know that you can eat that wolf meat, and then it's like, how you feeling? An hour later, you go, God, I feel good. I feel great. I go, changes, and you go, oh, yeah. Like if we're on the desert island and it has nothing but werewolves in there, and we got to eat something.
The desert island werewolf.
Hey, if we're on a desert island and there's nothing but werewolves, I'll be fucking werewolves.
True. And then eating them.
Hey, let's just see where it goes.
Oh my god! It's funny to bring that up because there is a very sexy howling lady. In the Howling, a very sexy lady.
Elizabeth Sladen, right?
Oh my,
Marsha.
Sexy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's,
But I'm just curious if the meat would change. But
yeah,
I don't have a clear answer on this, but I think it's worth a shot because, in this scenario, I'm like one of those guys from like the Hellfire Club who,
yeah, right.
It's forbidden things and does forbidden things. So in this scenario, I've always wanted to try werewolf meat, and so here's my chance.
Okay, another scenario. We're on a desert island, but it's snowy. It's like snow. And there's some like snow werewolves, and you kill the werewolf. And now he's frozen. He just plops down and he can't change. And now it's basically frozen wolf meat, like in the film Alive, the guys who crashed in the plane crash. Right. You have to put people outside in the snow. So now you've got cold werewolf meat, and you can cut up little slabs, and eat it like jerky. So
but wait a minute. But just freezing a werewolf doesn't. I would think that if you freeze a werewolf, the minute it becomes daylight again, he's not a werewolf anymore. Even if he's frozen, right?
Hey, look, I was trying to help you, okay? But you throw these things out, it's like, oh, okay.
Because he's not going to be, we know he's not going to be dead because he's still cursed.
Okay, right. Let's say, when we crash land in our plane, and it's Werewolf Island, which is frozen.
Werewolf Island. The reality show I've been pitching for years.
It's great. You and I, we get out, and the plane accidentally smacks into a couple of werewolves, and they're dead. Okay, so now it's like, okay.
But are they human again now?
No, it's 8 o'clock. They're frozen. It's
okay. All right. Okay, I'll go along with this.
So now they're frozen werewolves in their werewolf form. And then you go, gee, Larry, I'm really hungry. We got to wait.
I feel peckish.
We don't have any food on the plane. Let's hack up a piece of that werewolf. And I'll say, well, they are frozen. So I guess what we could do is we can kind of chop it up. It'll be like frozen, and you could gnaw and it'd be like jerky. So maybe that would be
not my favorite way to eat werewolf, but if need be.
Wait, do you not like beef jerky? Are you?
I don't like frozen beef jerky.
Well,
and it's raw. It's not jerky's not raw.
Yeah.
Well, but
look, it's cooked, it's seasoned, and
we're in a desert frozen island, though.
Werewolf.
Wait, we're in a desert frozen island. Where are we? Is it the desert? Is it frozen?
Look, you're the writer. You figure it out. Okay. Jesus.
Okay.
I'm trying to help, but okay.
It's the island from Son of Godzilla where the snow comes at the end and covers everything.
Oh, okay. See. Look at James helping you with this.
Oh wow,
that's good though. Okay,
I like it. I'm going to take all of your input under advisement.
All right,
and go with it.
All right. Good.
So
go
ahead,
next? Go, James.
No, if you haven't, if you happen to be listening to this episode and you're vegan, I apologize. But one sort of win-win.
Eat a Triffid.
Well, that's one kind of win-win might be Biolante, who is a scientifically engineered part plant and part Godzilla cell.
Yeah.
So you've got I would have to think that Godzilla got to taste sort of like chicken, because chickens evolved from lizards, right? It's kind of that evolution.
No. Well,
no.
Yeah, but I don't have the science right in front of me, but I can tell you this: Godzilla does not taste like chicken.
I'm with you.
If anything, he tastes like alligator or something like that.
Yeah.
Have you had alligator?
No, but
I
haven't had Godzilla either.
Don't tell me it tastes like chicken. Okay.
I don't think it's going to taste like chicken. It could.
Okay.
It's going to be
Well, even
atomic. It's going to be hot.
And it's going to be
burn your
atomic.
mouth. I mean,
That's
come
a very
on.
good point.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
be
That's true.
It's going to be
Come on.
atomic.
Let's play this
It'll be good
realistically.
for a
Let's not be
day.
let's not be
let's be
ridiculous.
realistic. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, James, remember, you said you're saying Biollante. You're talking
Biollante, I like that.
about vegetarians and vegan, all that. Well, then obviously, if seasoned just right with nice spices and matango.
Yes, that's on my list.
Matango.
Big
The
chunk out of
sure.
matango.
The mushroom
Right.
people.
A delicious mushroom meal.
But then you are
There you
going
go.
to turn into matango.
Well,
That's
well, yeah.
like definitely.
Oh, we can't
But
do
as
that.
in the movie, they're delicious, and you just can't stop eating them. So it would be.
Would you then
Oh.
just start eating yourself?
Maybe, yeah, if you're peckish.
No, because then you turn into a giant.
Then you turn into double
wait.
matango? Like, how does that
Sean,
work?
Sean, aren't there
Yeah.
mushrooms? Sean, correct me if I'm wrong. Aren't there mushrooms on the island that are not connected to that? It's turning you into mushroom.
Probably.
Yeah. There are all kinds all over, and like there was the actual creatures, right? So
This is where we'd find a biologist, or
Yeah.
and say, hey, let's pick out the correct mushrooms to eat.
but vegetarians, and I would say Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors. That's a plant.
Yeah.
You know,
Right,
there
sure.
could be some
Yeah.
nutrition in that.
But do you think now
Of course.
a vegan's thing is also that they won't eat anything with a face. So far we're okay because none of these things have what we'd call a face.
Yeah,
But
not really.
but they do have intelligence. So I'll bet you as soon as any of these plants showed any kind of intelligence that they'd be off the list when it came to
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Boy.
I don't know that we're going to do anything vegan friendly on this episode. Just vegetarian.
not.
So the vegetarians can eat the Triffids and Audrey, and be okay.
Is there a type of science fiction creature that's not necessarily intelligent, but
Well, there's
vegetable?
there's one famous vegetable monster, but he's quite intelligent. That would be the Thing from Another World.
Right.
No,
He's a carrot
no.
because I love carrots, but
very
he's
cute.
very intelligent.
The problem.
I
with
bet
that
he would
one-
be good.
The problem
I
with
know.
that, well, it's funny, Sean, because if you cut up that thing from that movie,
Right.
maybe that would be a good tasting carrot. But
Yeah.
if we don't know that this carrot evolves into like all kinds of little creatures that go in your body and overtake your body, then it wouldn't work.
Well, but
Right.
we're confusing too. That was never established in that original Howard Hawks Thing film
Mhm.
that creature does that. So
That's
I think
true.
we're safe.
That's
I think we're okay. I think we got a nice carrot or a
Okay.
daikon.
So you know what? I'll say this, Sean. Let's say if the belief is if you're the scientist there and you say it's this thinking carrot
It's an actual carrot.
and we
But he's an asshole. So
yeah he is, and he's trying to kill us. So I
Yeah.
think once we toast him, if we hack him up really quickly and put a little salad dressing together,
little hummus. Yeah.
I think a vegan would give you a pass on that one.
Yeah. I think
If
so.
you
I think you're
explain
right.
the circumstances, they go, all right.
and maybe we'd give the vegans only like the chest part and maybe the leg and stuff. We wouldn't give them anything,
Not the brain or
or his undercarriage.
his face. Probably
Yeah,
you don't want to give the vegan
Big
the face.
James Arness face to eat.
It's funny because Matt has a beautiful thing mask in his place, and now when I look at that, I'm not going to think about it in the same way. I'm going to go, wow,
Yeah.
boy, you were hacked up and fed to a bunch of vegetarians.
But when I think of, I am a meat eater, and so
Yeah, right.
the idea of eating some flesh of one of these creatures, I'm getting hungry right now. Like I really, for example, I think Rodan meat
See, I thought the
might
exact
be
same
pretty
thing.
good.
Did James,
that would taste like chicken.
Yeah.
More like chicken, more like chicken, but maybe with a
Absolutely.
little bit of reptile, like not frog's legs, but it wouldn't be entirely chicken, but it would have a tinge of something else.
And And if we all recall, at the end of the classic Rodan movie, when the Rodans kind of go into the volcano, they're basically being cooked. So Matt, we actually could drive on out there in our boat and get remnants of Rodan and go, damn, this is some good tasting chicken or Rodan. And it could feed villages. I mean, they sacrificed themselves for us. Look at that.
Yeah.
Well, what
Once
about
again, I would want to coat them in something, probably.
Yeah, true. Now, if you think Rodan tastes good, then what about, because Thanksgiving we all love turkey, right? What about the giant claw?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
as a meal.
Totally, yeah.
Could be gamey. Could be a little gamey.
Yeah, a little gamey.
Because it's wild. Doesn't probably eat a lot of corn or even grass, I'm guessing. Because he's from another dimension.
Right.
He's a little
Okay.
bony, isn't he? He's bony.
I think I
A little
got
bony.
this one may be good though, because if you want to have basically a good turkey meal and as a result get high at the same time, how about the guy from Blood Freak? He turns into the turkey monster.
No, we're not.
Because he turns into a turkey monster by smoking marijuana, right?
You know what, Sean? I'll try it.
Turkey head.
I'll give it. If you were,
because
if they sold that guy's meat at Costco,
right.
and there was one of those people with the tray,
it would be like
take a sample.
It would be like
I'd try some.
It would be like eating turkey edibles because it'd be like turkey edibles infused with like sativa.
Kind of a contact high.
Here's a problem with little.
All right, I want to hear the problem. Here we go.
Little reefer man here.
Little reefer man. There he is.
You go to Costco and you try a little bite and go, "Hey man, this is tasty.
Hey man,
turkey,
man, like,
I'm getting
got some,
like Wowsville."
Now the thing is what this guy was taking turned him into the turkey man. So Sean, what my thing is if you took pieces of it, wouldn't you start to turn into the turkey man?
I don't know though, because if
I don't know if that's how it works.
Because you'd be high and you wouldn't care. You go, "Hey, I've got a turkey head now."
But his head becomes an actual giant turkey head.
I know.
So I would concentrate on just the head because really the rest of him I think is pretty much a human body still.
Whoa!
I bet he's got turkey in the rest.
You think he's got turkey in the rest of him? Okay.
Yes. See, my interpretation is it's not just his head. It's like his whole body. I mean, he doesn't get the big breasts and whatnot, but I think he turned.
Okay, well that's better then. Yeah.
They can't afford to show you the rest.
Yeah, right. That's in the fan fiction.
It's there.
All right, so yeah.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think Sigmund the Sea Monster tastes like?
Well,
I couldn't, Matt.
Maybe a little too. I don't know. Like you were saying, gamey before the other one. Maybe gamey. Too much.
I meant like a gamey squid.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I couldn't do it.
I don't think.
What if it was what was his brother's name? Sluggo or
Blurp and Slurp or something?
Blurp and Slurp. Yeah, there we go.
Or the Big Daddy. Isn't the
Big Daddy
father? Big Daddy.
No. They did have that pet lobster.
Oh yeah, pet lobster.
I would eat him.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
but I couldn't eat the Sigmund family.
How about Puff and stuff?
I don't know, but a dragon.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He would taste better than Sigmund.
Well,
probably,
okay.
Yeah, sure.
Well, stupid question. What are Clink and Clang? What are they?
Delicious.
Question.
Delicious.
That's a good question. There. What the hell are they?
James, do they ever talk?
No idea.
Do they ever talk?
No, I don't think so.
I thought they were like living salamanders.
They're weird
or
little mutant things. Like what are? Yeah, I don't know.
Just tiny little flat-faced hippies.
Yeah. You could eat a sleeve stack.
Sleeve stack. Maybe.
Yeah. I think it would be like iguana.
That's more like a alligator
and
iguana.
The sleeve stack. I mean, it's not like it's got Sigmund talks to you. Hey, hello. I can't eat that. But the
sleeve stack though.
Yeah,
I want their eyes.
Yeah,
I want their eyes like a big salmon roe.
Like eyes are like caviar.
Oh, Matt, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
I want to try it though. I'd try it.
That's a big eye, by the way.
Yeah. Well, you just scoop the whole thing out and put it in a bowl, chill it
with some rice.
With a little bit of rice, yeah.
Okay, well, going back to dessert, because I love ice cream. I can always eat ice cream.
Okay.
And yes, it may take you over and may turn into a zombie and whatever, but you gotta enjoy the stuff, right?
Oh, sure.
Well, yeah. Because what do we know?
Delicious.
Right. Everybody loves it.
Yeah.
And I'll bet it really was good because there are certain
I could go through
chemicals
that. Yeah, easily.
Okay.
Easily.
Although that's not really.
It's a monster. It's a sentient creature.
Let's say you could take a pill. Like, let's say, you know how you can take a Tums or something for an acidy stomach. Let's say you can take something that would, kill off the force that after you eat
neutralize it.
Yeah, neutralize it.
So it's just
aren't there, Matt? Isn't there some like dangerous sushi or something that you're not supposed to eat or something?
Or blowfish, right?
Blowfish,
yeah.
So maybe something like that, and you can take a pill, and it'll help you out. It'll like, oh man,
is there a pill, James?
It has to be just cooked. It has to be just cooked right. It has to be cooked just right, right?
You're like,
I've had it. I've had it.
Yeah, right, yeah.
You've had the blowfish?
Oh, yeah.
Is it good?
It was amazing.
Like, what does it taste like, though? Is it like...
It's from what I remember, because it was a long time ago, but it tasted like really tender, very tasty sushi, because that's how I had it. It was like it was raw.
Right.
And it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
But see, this is what I've been thinking about when it comes to Hedera.
Whoa.
Because now, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. Hold on. Hear me out here. So with Hedera, we know that he's all pollution, right?
The smog monster.
Right. Except for those balls of whatever they are, which are heterite, heterinium?
Heterite.
Heterite. Okay. Those things, I think, I'll bet you, and I don't have nothing to back this up except a hunch. And my hunch is that those things are like the meat from blowfish. If you get that, you're all right. And I'll bet they're delicious.
What are they supposed to be in the film?
I felt
was it ever explained?
No, it's not really explained. And we had a discussion about this going way back. I do think it's what helps him procreate.
Oh, so of course, then look, people eat cow balls all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
But
that's what makes him a heterosexual. And I made this joke years ago. When
God bless you.
It never changed, sir. Never changed.
But I'd give it a shot.
But Matt, here's my issue. The issue is, I understand it looks all clean and white and crisp, and go, oh, I'll just,
it's like get past all that other stuff.
I get it.
Yeah.
Too.
But okay.
By the way,
Matt, you wash
it.
It's still made. The essence of it still comes from all this pollution. You don't know what's in that thing. It could be.
I don't know what's in half my food.
Yeah, it's like eating a hot dog. You have to put in hot dogs, and you don't want to know.
Right, yeah.
But they're delicious.
That's true.
Look, we all know that there's a certain amount of rat turd that's allowed in hot dogs.
Yeah.
I can handle that.
No. There's no
Matt,
rat turd in hot dogs.
So if you're talking about heater.
Actually, there isn't a.
No.
I'm sorry.
We are.
Are you Johnny Hot Dog now, who knows all the fucking rules of hot dogs?
Everybody knows that hot dogs are made of scraps and.
There's a certain level.
But why are you so defensive about hot dogs?
Yeah. Because there are a lot of high quality hot dog folks out there.
Are you worried about the hot dog people coming after us?
You're like spouting these lies about
First of all,
here we go, fake news.
Okay, first of all, I love hot dogs. I can eat barrels of hot dogs. So, but I mean,
I don't care. I'll eat
it's
a
not
turd.
the healthiest food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Look. Suddenly, you have this big fucking highfalutin attitude about rat turds. Maybe they're good too. Maybe they're what makes them taste good.
There are so many nitrates and preservatives in hot dogs that they will neutralize anything in there.
Anything, right? So maybe, So Matt, the way you were saying about Hedera, and you get down to the core, the very delicious core of what it is. Same thing. What about? I've always wondered about this because I don't really know the physiology of these creatures, and I wonder what they would taste like if you shaved off all their fur and you got the little bud of meat in a tribble. And you cooked it up.
I bet they're good.
Yeah,
that would be
because we never seen what a tribble looks like without all those hair. It could be just a little. Yeah,
it'll be like a pork
with
bun in a Chinese restaurant.
Quarter triticale and tribble meat might be really good.
Sean,
I bet that's really good.
Yeah.
Sean, you bring up a great idea here, because if you recall what they're saying, what Spock says is the Tribble has been taken out of his environment where there are all these predators, and when he's among humans,
predators eat. We know the predators go after them.
So if it breeds so fast and it breeds so quickly that you would think that if predators like it, they know it's tasty. So Sean,
in fact, even in the Star Trek animated series, if you remember,
that's right.
More Trouble, More Tribbles. They show an actual tribble eater, a little alien predator. It's like this little red thing comes on, sits on top of it, So you see a tribble be eaten. So I bet you they taste good.
And doesn't it get to a point where there's so many tribbles that the tribble predator is giant and fat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, right. It's like you can, kill, like how you can, like, you're allowed to hunt certain animals because they're so, otherwise it'd be overpopulation. So I say we go tribble hunting.
Now, I understand initially in the original Trouble with Tribbles why they didn't eat their way out of that situation, because some of them were poisoned.
Yeah.
Right. But that was put in the grain.
Right.
Yes.
But once you know which
killed.
ones are okay,
Right.
let's go. Let's start a tribble fry.
I don't
Exactly.
know. That's like, it's like,
I mean,
hey,
yes, they're all adorable and cute. I'm not saying,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it would be a little tough to do, but I'm just saying I bet you they taste good.
And the other thing, Sean, with like Tribbles, don't you think that there's a service like Dr. McCoy could say, hey, look, I know everyone wants a Tribble and they breed fast, but what we can do is I can remove its
reproductive.
Exactly. Organs.
Or they stop
That's
eating.
the best part.
It could be spayed or neutered like a cat or a dog. And then you'd have a fuzzy little Tribble, for, 13, 14 years or whatever it is, the length of his life. And so that way you could take care of the overpopulation.
That's a very good point, Larry. The fact that Dr. McCoy, that we're this far into the future, they couldn't figure out a way to just neuter these things.
Yeah, really.
Well, there is a scene, if you recall, when Kirk looks at McCoy and says, I want to know what killed this Tribbles. He goes, I don't even know how it eats yet. And Kirk does that look. It's all right. I'll get it. It's because it's a completely new species of animal. So,
right.
But Sean, I think that's a good one. Really good one. Okay, look, I am not a fan. Like the first time I had this, it was in France, and I didn't know that this is what I was eating. But let's just say we're on that desert island, and there's a bunch of these creatures out there. Then I'm all in favor of like, let's hunt one down and get it, and that's the lepus.
The lepus. That was on my list too. Yep.
I've never had rabbit.
I'm not really a fan. It's some people say it's like a duck. It's all dark meat. It's kind of oily. People go, well, it's the way you cook it. It's weird because when I was invited to this dinner and they served what I thought was duck because it was all dark and and I cut into it, there's not much meat on this. Okay, whatever. And then I was told afterward as we're on the walk home, do you know that was rabbit? And of course, I love little rabbits, and I don't think I'd actually, eat one.
Right.
But if we're on a desert island and there are these giant rabbits with either berries or blood on their mouths, they're chasing after.
They're coming after you.
Yeah.
I think
that's fair game. It's fair game.
All rules are off here.
Yeah. And it would taste like rabbit.
It tastes like rabbit. But see, those are the ones where it's like, okay, if you go to Mysterious Island, the giant crab.
Right.
Oh,
because what I liked about you bringing up Ebera was the fact that it's a giant shrimp, but it's not entirely, it's a different kind of shrimp. It's a monster shrimp.
Yeah.
It's a little bit mutant, kind of thing.
Well, the lepus is a monster rabbit.
But those are just regular rabbits.
They look like just giant.
Oversized.
They've got a killer instinct now, so there's that. But
sure.
Yeah.
But I'd say, try something a little more exotic, like the silicates.
Those would be hard to. Yeah, but you got to get past that shell.
Well, you could once you've killed them, and this is from Island of Terror with Peter Cushing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And these are these strange, they got a big hard shell and they've got this stalk that comes out and they scuttle along the ground. They're about the size of an average sized dog.
Yeah.
But I'll bet you that once you get inside that meat, could be interesting. I'm not saying it's going to be good.
Yeah, maybe.
But if you cooked it the way you would escargot,
right.
might be some good eating in there.
Oh my God! You just brought up another thing. What if we captured and roasted the great pink sea snail from Dr. Dolittle?
There you go.
First thing I thought when I saw that thing.
Yeah. It's like now I've had snails before, and
do you like those?
They're okay. But this is a giant. I'd feel bad that what we're doing is we're kind of eating the last one. There aren't any other.
Isn't it for the best? Because if it's the last one, it's not going to live anyway. Do you want to eat it when it's all old and dried out?
Well, maybe there's a chance that it could get together with some other snails or something. And,
Last one, Larry.
I know, but it's because it's the great pink sea snail. And you know how nature's weird, out there in the wilderness, there'll be like, oh, here's a white lion that's born, or a white giraffe, or here's a pink sea snail. So it's just that I believe he was the last of his kind. If we're on that desert island and the great pink sea snail, strolls up and he's kind of sitting there and we're starving.
Obviously, if any of us are starving or even probably remotely hungry, any of these fucking creatures, right?
Yeah. So you're talking about like fish type things. I'm curious, what about the Amphibian Man from The Shape of Water?
Oh,
or the creature.
The creature. Yeah.
It's so funny you brought that up, Sean, because I was going through the main monsters. Okay, you can't eat Drac, you can't eat Frankenstein. These are humans. They were the mummy. And then I came to the creature. I'm thinking, oh well, he's boy.
I somehow think the Amphibian Man from Shape of Water would be more tasty somehow. He just looks more. I don't know. He looks more fresh. I don't know.
Yeah. It seems like the meat might be a little more tender. I have a feeling that with the creature, he's been living in that lagoon for ages, and
like an old crocodile.
Yeah, I get the feeling he would be tough.
Yeah. Plus, the Amphibian Man might actually have regenerative qualities if you ingest him.
Yeah,
because you grow your hair back, and because he has that effect.
Grow your hair back. Wow.
Well, if he can grow my hair back, then he could probably grow back an arm or a leg, right? So I'll just take an arm or a leg.
Oh man!
Right.
And keep this going.
Let's go out and find this guy.
Hey, how about Bigfoot?
No.
But he's like. No,
don't get all moral on me here.
No, I am getting moral.
I don't think you would. First of all, if you know anything about Bigfoot lore, they're supposed to smell to high heaven. You can tell Bigfoot's near because you can have this. There's a stench. So that alone,
that's
right
just
there,
hygiene.
is gonna take me out. Look, I don't know. He's been in the woods. He's like,
Sean. Let's say you go all Howard Hughes on us. Keeping your pee in jars. You don't bathe. You grow your hair long. You die.
Right. Okay.
That's not going to stop me from eating you.
Okay.
I'll clean you up. Okay. I'll shave you. Yeah. I'll clean you up.
I don't know if I would do that.
I'd rather take a chance with the Loch Ness Monster than Bigfoot.
I'm with you, Sean. I would rather go Loch Ness.
Plesiosaur would probably taste pretty good if cooked right.
Hey, James, you had one that you wanted to interject here?
Well, we talked a little bit about Godzilla, but I'm thinking now more Minion. Because young, tender.
You are.
He'd be like veal. Like kaiju veal.
That's right. You're right. No, you're right. That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
You guys are sick.
And he doesn't seem that atomic.
Right.
So I think
he's a next generation. Yeah. So yeah.
And easy to catch.
You guys.
And you could probably, I would have
a baby monster.
Yeah.
Especially if it's the Minion from Godzilla's Revenge. Like, oh, what are you doing? Don't kill me. Oh, don't cook me now.
I know I'm delicious, but that's no reason to end my life.
You would kill that Minion, Sean?
This is theoretical. We're just talking about if they taste good. It's
We're
not a moral issue.
No. This is survival.
Survival. This is a moral issue. You encounter this. No, listen. Okay, you'll have your chance. You encounter this monster that's, hey, how are you? I know it might be tasty, but hey, I can help you get out of here. You have an intelligent individual that you can actually have a conversation with. You're not going to go and eat him.
That was a kid's fantasy. That was a dream sequence. That would actually
I will eat the fuck out of anyone's fantasy. And so, we can all agree though that we will eat Baby Minion from Son of Godzilla.
No, I think so.
No,
if you had to,
and he doesn't have the intelligence of Barney Rubble.
No, there are those grasshopper creatures. I could
eat
go
those
after.
Too.
Talking about giant insects, you've got them, the giant ants. You've got tarantula.
That doesn't appeal to me though. I don't know.
Well, once you got to the Yeah.
Well, Sean, if it's big enough,
I guess, yeah.
Okay, let's just say that we kill tarantula, the giant tarantula. We stab something in its chest or whatnot, and so I understand he's hairy and stuff, but it's like we cut into that. There's meat on that for his legs,
right?
And it's spider meat. What?
Lobsters? They say lobsters are descended from spiders, right? Basically, they've got the same. Something like that. Well, if you eat a lobster, see all those legs, those hairy legs, it ain't that far off.
Well, then I'd go after Spigus then, because you don't have to worry about the hair.
Okay. Doesn't Spiga have hair?
Yes. Not like tarantula. It's not covered in hair.
Okay. So the praying mantises from Son of Godzilla, which are, what are they called?
Kamacuras.
Okay. I'll bet you if you cook those the way you would cook crickets, because I've gone to restaurants.
Oh yeah, right.
Cook crickets.
Yeah.
With a little garlic.
I've had ants too.
Yeah. But the crickets are really good because they're the ones that you taste the most of their actual meat.
Yeah.
And I like it. And it's crunchy. And I'll bet if you did that with those praying mantises, that could be good.
That's possible.
Again, garlic, salt, some pepper.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I'd much rather do that than go after poor little Minion. I think you guys are just horrible.
I don't know. When I just see that, there's that scene in Son of Godzilla where the mantises are going at the back of Minion.
Yes.
I just see a lot of good meat right there.
Yeah. It's tender.
Really tender.
Are you one of those guys who, when the little baby turtles they come out of their shell and they're racing along the beach, you're rooting for the seagulls to come by and hey, go get those little baby turtles?
No, I want the turtles to survive.
I don't root for anyone. It's nature.
Yeah,
let it take its course.
That's right.
Although speaking of turtles, Gamera is really neat. Gamera is filled with meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. From Mr. Science Theater. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he might be good. Yeah.
I have a feeling he's been through so much. It might also be a little tough.
Yeah, and may I ask something, James? It's fire that comes out of Gamera's mouth. So inside, he's got to have some kind of heating thing. And it's like, I just don't think that inside of him, it's meat, but I just don't think it would be tasty. It has to be really, really tough and hard to
I agree.
to withstand the heat.
Maybe.
And also when he spins, fire comes out of his little shell. Yes, he has meat in him, but I just don't think it's tasty. Call me strange.
Well, I've never had turtle soup or anything, but I've always just thought that was kind of a funny lyric.
Yeah. That's true.
Yes, but I don't want to
get personal, James.
Yeah, I don't want to support that lyric. I want turtles to live, and go to our oceans.
Look,
and
Gamera. We can
all
agree, it's not our first choice.
Right.
Well, when we've had everything else, we've eaten all the marshmallow and giant shrimp we can eat. I might take a swipe at Gamera.
Okay.
This is survival.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
how do you think banthas would taste?
Oh, that's a good one. And they're very hairy.
But they might be cooked.
I think.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I think of them like a camel, not an elephant. Because elephants drink a lot of water. A camel doesn't drink a lot of water, and it's able to maintain its essence. And in that world of Tatooine, the banthas have to withstand, being out in the sun forever. Sean, you bring up a really good thing. I think it's kind of like a camel, and camels, it's the cows of,
Have they ever, anywhere in the Star Wars universe or the Star Wars canon, have they ever mentioned like bantha meat or like cooking banthas?
Gosh, I
can't recall, but there may have been. I don't know.
I will say this though, Sean. If you think of it, the Sand People who are they're nomads, they travel, kind of like maybe let's say American Indians or whatnot. I would think that if their animal died, I think they would hack him up and use all the parts of the bantha.
Maybe, yeah.
So maybe he's like a buffalo too, like maybe he's half buffalo, half camel.
Okay, so what about a tauntaun?
Oh, well, I think the tauntaun in Empire Strikes Back on the planet Hoth, he's like a horse.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Granted, he's used to go out and explore the area and stuff, but it's like with any like culture that uses animals to ride around and stuff, and even Han Solo, he cuts open the tauntaun.
And they stink.
They do stink. They do stink, Matt. But I think that, look, when you're on this frozen planet and you don't have a lot of options, I think there's a batch of old tauntauns in the back that they're going.
Yeah, it's like people eat horse meat, and horse would also stink if you could open its belly.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm sure. How would you like to be the rebel guy who goes, oh, okay, hey, congratulations, you're going to become a rebel. Great, I want to fight the Empire. I want to control guns. Oh, no. We need you to clean and kill the tauntauns. Whoa, what's this? He goes, look, when you sign up, we got to put you someplace, and you got to help out the rebellion.
Right.
How'd you like to be that guy?
Right.
Hey, how much does it pay?
Right.
It's the rebellion. It's not like the Empire where the Empire, they have
per diem. Come on,
pensions. No. No, you're when you help the rebellion, you are getting the satisfaction that I'm helping to do good. You probably get 3 square meals. And,
if I cut up the tauntaun, do I get a little extra tauntaun meat to take home to the wife?
Yes, because you go, like what Sean was saying about hot dogs, you make some tauntaun hot dogs or something. And you get some innards.
Again, enough nitrates.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Tauntauns.
Maybe you get a side business. Maybe they go, hey, look, that's Rebel Bob. And he goes, yeah, hey guys, just let you know, when I'm off duty, I'll be selling some tauntaun dogs in the back. And they go,
at the tauntaun hut.
Yeah.
It's a truck.
yeah, it's a food truck.
No, it's a
truck.
Gourmet.
It's a
gourmet.
snowmobile.
But it's like a land speeder. It's like a floating tauntaun burger truck.
I like it.
These are the questions you have to ask yourself. Like, when the last set of Star Wars films came out, was it Finn? They go, well, what do you do? Oh, I do sanitation. Okay, that's the first time that's brought up. You have to think about, I do.
The lowly jobs of the stormtroopers.
Sure. Yes,
yeah,
exactly,
that's true.
Exactly.
Hey, somebody's got to do it.
Tauntauns they're animals in a frozen environment, just like seals. And they probably carry a lot of blubber to keep them warm. Yeah, so you got to think in terms of like Eskimos, they will eat, whales and seals and, put that blubber to use. So I think the same goes for tauntaun.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. And it's with that blubber, it's going to be some nice fat, that juicy.
Yeah. And once you cook it, maybe it doesn't smell that bad.
That's what I think.
It's so funny talking about this. I'm getting a craving for tauntaun. This is so weird.
I'm gonna take care of that. I want to try Ewok.
No.
Because I think Ewoks would be delicious.
No.
Because if you look at an Ewok, they all have that big tummy.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. They would probably taste. I agree. They would taste better than Jawas, I think. I think Jawas would be gamey and gross. And
how would you even consider eating a Jawa? You are sick, Sean.
What do you mean? They're like the scummy like.
No, they ride in a big truck.
They ride in a big truck. Yeah, and they're scavengers. They're useless scavengers, and they steal and they kill and they like.
The Jawa kill.
They're not.
If they're going to steal my droid, then I can eat them.
Yeah.
Those are the rules.
Clothes. They wear little clothes. They have little guns.
I'm saying anyway. I think they wouldn't taste good. I'd go for the Ewoks instead, like Matt said.
See, Ewoks are like a primitive culture, not like the Jawa, but still, guys, you're talking about eating a little,
it's like a little bear cub
being. I know. How can you do that?
But the Ewoks were ready to eat Han Solo. So it's fair game.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Those vicious flesh-eating bastards. Eat them first.
That's right.
You know what?
You know how you stop an Ewok from eating people? You eat one of them.
James, you bring up a really good point. And the funny thing is, I have a feeling that when the Ewoks put Han Solo on the steak, it doesn't look like they've never done this before. They've done it before.
Yeah, right.
So, what, James, you bring up a very good point. And also, if we recall, the way Chewbacca and C-3PO are caught, with Luke and Han, there's a big piece of meat out there that Chewbacca goes to, and he grabs it, and then the net grabs him. So you know what? You bring.
They're big meat eaters.
You guys,
right,
guys. I've got the greatest gag meal.
Yeah.
For a joke. So this is what you do. You get an alien chest burster.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
And You remove the teeth. You do it very carefully, obviously. But you make this, you get this thing to look as much like just a slab of roast as you can. And you maybe put it in the broiler and just kind of singe the outside. And you put some spices on it. You get a nice little garnish. And you make this thing look really appetizing. And then you feed it to your asshole friend he's played jokes on you for years. And so you're finally going to get him back. And he just cuts into this thing and
See,
that's for the hot foot.
I will say this. I will say this, Matt. Every time around Thanksgiving, there are these pictures that get passed around on Facebook where people do face hugger type Thanksgiving dinners where they use parts of the turkey and maybe crab legs and and little the tail is like bread or something,
or the chest burster coming out of a turkey.
Yes, and it's like I love seeing these, and it's like, oh my god, that does look so good. Although if you were to have an actual chest, not the face hugger, the face hugger. I don't think the face hugger would be very tasty, but
that doesn't look feeling to me.
If we make our own, I think that would be delicious.
Yeah.
If you could drain the blood somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's
right.
hard.
That's true.
Because here's the thing, that let's say you think, all right, I squeezed all the acid out of this, and then it's like you cook it. All it takes
there's always one bit more.
It's like, oh, Larry, this is great. Wait a minute.
It's like eating blowfish. You have to do it just right.
It would have to be prepared.
Yeah. Because there's always one last bone in fish.
Yes.
Right.
Same thing,
Okay, so here's a question. Does pumpkin head taste like pumpkin?
No, because he's not technically really a pumpkin head, right? It's just his name.
It's a little dead body that kind of formed from a pumpkin patch, right? So I don't know. It kind of was.
So half meat, half pumpkin?
I don't know, because I love pumpkin. I like pumpkin flavored things. So I don't know.
See, I'm not a fan of pumpkin pie, so I wouldn't.
What? Are you insane?
No.
Yeah, I'm pumpkin pie is one of those things where.
Oh my god!
I like it enough. But if I had my choice of all pies, that'd be very low on the list.
See, I'm with Matt.
Surprising.
You act like it's insane. No, there are a lot of people out there that don't like that traditional pumpkin pie.
No, I mean, I like all kinds of pies, but I mean, I love pumpkin pie too.
I love a berry pie, banana cream pie.
Hey, what about the headless horseman? Is that his head? But it's also a pumpkin.
Yeah,
it's on fire, isn't it?
Ooh.
Sometimes I think.
Oh, roast.
I don't know, but does it have a brain inside? Is it just a hollow? It kind of looks like it's a hollow pumpkin, but I don't know.
Does the brain just look like that mound of seeds and gook?
Yeah, yeah.
You laugh, but that is kind of brain-like. All the seeds, and my daughter hates scooping. I make her do it though. It's like, look, that's part of Halloween, and you guys scoop that.
You got to work for it.
And
work for it.
Exactly.
I want to do some sort of genre turducken, where you get like a tribble, and you shove that in a critter. And then you put that in a tremor.
Ooh, what about if cooked just right, tingler?
Yeah.
What would that take? What is it? I mean, it's a spine.
It'd be like a giant muscle. It'd be like
it's like
no, it wouldn't be juicy. It'd be
it wouldn't be. It would be very tough because they say that it can be like steel.
Right, it can't. But if it's dead though and cooked, maybe it would be. I don't know.
Maybe you'd have to tenderize it.
It does look a little like a lobster tail.
It does, yeah. I don't know. That'd be interesting.
I'll bet it doesn't taste like a lobster tail.
But these are the questions that keep me up at night.
All right. Well, I could easily go on another hour and a half with this.
Yes, we should save more for. Look, I have to go because I'm starving now.
Yeah,
I have to eat.
But we should definitely do this again because I really enjoyed this
and get some
time starving as well.
That's right.
So everybody.
This has been delicious.
Scarily delicious.
Yes.
But go and find a creature from your worst nightmare and eat it. I dare you. And so there you have it. Monsters with good taste.
Oh my God!
Wow.
That was a full course meal of monster deliciousness.
Oh yeah, multiple courses.
Waiter, check please.
I'm stuffed.
No, I don't want the check. I want to keep the tab open because I want to keep ordering. I want to keep ordering food.
I don't even remember that. I must have been drinking so much because it's a total blur.
Especially the ones where the episodes where it's just us. Then yes, we're drinking.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
But I do have, flashes of memories about this, but to hear it, to find this again and listen to it, I was like, wow, you know what? I remember when we were done with it at the time, I remember us all going, hey, you know what? That actually worked better than we thought it was going to work. There was actually a lot to talk about.
Well, I will say this. I agree with James. I think that maybe the tab should be kept open because now after listening to all this.
No, he wants the check. I want the tab open.
You want to because
call,
I actually.
Call Instacart now. Let's get some more food delivered.
Listening to this, Matt, it makes
Doom Dash.
Now I want to have dessert. I want to have a dessert and an after dinner drink.
Sure.
Quite honestly.
I know. You need a fine port to go with all this monster.
Oh, I didn't realize we went to so much depth.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And like we say, I want to do another one now. I really do. I think we could easily do another one and go on longer. Yeah. And as you can tell, as you experienced, this was a shorter episode. It's lean and mean.
That's right.
But I think you got a lot of bang for your buck.
Yes.
And it hits every taste bud. It really does. And if you were smart, you are writing down or transcribing these recipes when you have a gathering and one of these monsters, shows up and doesn't realize what he's in for.
Time for a listener shout out.
Shout out.
Delicious shout out.
Oh, I'll have another helping. Another helping of shout out, please.
This goes out to 2 listeners and friends from G-Fest.
All right.
Adam G. Holtz from Rochester, New Hampshire.
All right,
Adam.
And Thomas Edward from Chicago, Illinois.
Yay!
Both of whom are now the proud owners of the new Monster Party t-shirt.
Hey.
That we made up for the recent Monster Palooza. It's the green variant.
Right.
It's beautiful.
You need to have it.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. And Thomas in particular mentioned that he plans to wear it at Days of the Dead and some other conventions coming up. So that's always appreciated when listeners represent.
Yeah, and didn't Adam, he got a cap too, right?
Adam also got a cap.
Nice.
And he's representing up at New Hampshire. And I think he right now might be our only listener representing in New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Yay!
Thanks, Adam. Spreading the love up there. Are there a lot of monster fans up there, New Hampshire?
Oh, it's
there will
teeming.
Be soon.
Yes. And they're starving.
Right.
Now, aside from a cookbook, we should, at some point, we need to make more Monster Party clothing. Like we need the pants. Definitely shoes. Some Monster Party like Converse. Wouldn't that be cool?
Well, if it was a high quality Converse, that's what I'd say. I don't want to do a cheap Converse.
What's
some
cheap
Vans?
Converse?
Some Vans like the Monster Party logo on it. Be cool.
I take a Sketcher.
Yeah,
I like a Sketcher.
Just one Sketcher, not for both feet. Just one Sketcher.
No, because it's monstrous. What is he doing?
James, did you say neckties?
I think a necktie would be appropriate. Why not with the Monster
I like
Party
it
logo?
a lot.
Sure.
Yeah. What about a bow tie?
Bow tie.
like a bow tie monster pasta.
I think Josh Gilliland would wear that.
He would.
Sure, that's right.
Tie law, sure.
I might wear that too, actually. That sounds good. Yeah. And gloves and a parasol and you're set.
Cufflinks. Yeah.
And Larry, I think you've also got a shout out or two.
Well, yeah. For fans of Monster Party, if you are friends of ours on Facebook, you've probably seen the ads, the past couple weeks advertising a show on MeTV called Collector's Call.
Oh,
now,
yes.
Now, Matt and I, we were on the show. We filmed this back in January of this year.
It's like another life.
Yes, and the funny thing is we were told We don't want you to publicize about it until
Right.
we let you know. So we waited and waited.
Mhm.
Finally, when we were told when the episode was going to happen, we had just finished our second Comic-Con episode. So it's like it has already aired. But what you can do is you can go to the MeTV website, and they'll probably be showing some promos, and they'll eventually show the whole show there eventually. But if you
Yes.
did catch it, I just wanted to say thank you for watching. It was a lot of fun to do. I was thrilled to have Matt there.
And thank you, Larry, for inviting me, because it was very exciting. It was fun. It was great to banter with you. It's just like it was like being on our show again, you know. And Lisa Welchel. What a terrific person, and just a class act and great host and pro.
She was a total pro, and the funny thing is, look, she didn't know much about the creature, which we kind of jumped on her about a little bit. But
she got right on board and had a lot of fun with it.
Now, one of the pieces of information I want to let people know is, no. It's like, because we have this podcast, I don't think that the crew or Lisa were prepared for Matt and I with our banter. And the funny thing is, at the end, they all looked at us and said, "My God, we have enough. We could do an hour episode," because it was so funny. But they have to shorten. It's less than 30 minutes. But they said they loved our energy. They loved everything about it. And also special thanks to John Gilbert, the creature expert. As I had mentioned, I had met John years ago, and it was really brief. And I've idolized this guy for years, and I couldn't believe they were able to get John Gilbert, this creature expert, to come into my place to see my creature collection.
Yes, and he was wonderful.
He was wonderful, but you know something? It's always great when you find out about a creature expert who doesn't have something that you have.
I know. The prime directive, I must win.
It
doesn't matter.
No.
You can't just enjoy somebody else's collection. I must win.
Larry, I have to ask, what did you have that he didn't have? Because he's the biggest creature collector in the world.
Those handcrafted condoms, I thought were pretty.
No. Look, he has so many rare pieces. Look, guys, I don't want to spoil it for you, because I know it was just shown on MeTV.
Yes.
They may show it again. I'm gonna wait for a little bit so you guys can check it out.
Missed it, right?
Yeah,
okay,
I mean,
cool.
it's like, I don't want to pull like a Game of Thrones spoiler here or anything like that.
And speaking of which, this ends much more satisfying than Game of Thrones.
But look, I just want to thank all the folks at MeTV.
Yes, me
and
too.
The producers.
They were
Lisa,
all lovely. Everybody was just so nice to us.
And just to let you know, folks, it's like, here's my primo creature stuff out there. And I was a little nervous about that. The crew was terrific. They always asked me, can we move this? Can we do that?
Yes.
And they were really, and it's like, it's
very
the same
respectful.
Crew. They're used to doing other collections. And that's what's cool about the show. Look, maybe not everything on the show is something that you might be interested in, but it is really neat. You find out we're all these collectors, we all share a passion about this
all
item.
kinds of different things, right?
Whether it be like Flintstone memorabilia or James Bond stuff or even erotic art or whatever it is, there's. I'm just saying.
I have a sneaking suspicion that the erotic art is not going to make it on Collector's Call. Just a hunch.
But I'm just saying that collectors, they could all relate to each other.
Yes. And we all share the same sickness. But the sickness is also the thing that keeps us well.
Yeah, that's true.
So for listeners, if you get a chance, go to the MeTV website, go check out Collector's Call. It may be a little bit before they put up the whole episode, but check it out.
Yes.
The other shout out I'd like to give is to my cousin, Patrick Strothe. Now, guys, I may have mentioned Patrick in the past.
Yes.
But Patrick is the same age as I am. And he's a very smart guy. He's been very successful. He's the president of Rubicon M&A Insurance Services. Now, I know it's very lofty and stuff, and it is, but he's an expert in executive and transactional liabilities. Now, it's insurance. Doesn't sound very exciting.
He should hang with my sister, who's also into insurance.
Well, I tell you, my cousin Patrick has his own podcast called M&A Masters Podcast. Now,
I listen to that all the time.
No, well, here's the thing, guys. Look, it's carried on Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Podbay, and all those other podcasts. But what Pat does is he speaks with leading experts in mergers and acquisitions. It includes professional advisors, attorneys, investment bankers, private equity players, and entrepreneurs. Now, look, these names may not be as familiar as like Boris Karloff, William Shatner, or Stephen King, but these are professionals who are experts in their field that Pat interviews. And so if for some people out there, if you have an established business that you plan to sell sometimes, you may want to check out Patrick's podcast. He has over 106 episodes, and they run about 30 minutes apiece. So again, it's not science fiction, fantasy, and horror. It's a different thing, but it's very smart and very sharp.
And there's podcasts for everybody in every walk of life.
True. And one thing I would like to point out now, I'm sure that this podcast is great, but we are missing the thing that you normally do, Larry, when another podcast is brought up. And that is, you'll usually say, I don't know how many listeners they have, but we've been doing this for 10 years. And it's funny how that snarkiness is not quite there.
Okay. I'm going to come clean.
Interesting.
I'm going to come clean. Okay. So my cousins and my brothers and sisters, we all got together for a weekend. We had a bunch of drinks and we're all talking about something, and something came up about podcasts. And Pat mentioned he had a podcast, and I immediately went in, "Oh, you have a podcast? Like I have a podcast." And he goes, "Oh, Larry, that's great." And I go, "How many episodes do you have?" And he goes, 106. And I went, "Well, I have 250."
Okay.
And then how many listeners? So I kind of grilled him about that.
And then he threatened to sue you. So you decided to
he loves me. He thinks the world of me and thinks my wife and I have a great kid.
Great. That's good.
So, he's got great kids too. So,
well, this is, it's something I will maybe tell my sister about, because she's also in the insurance world, and she's done very well. So yeah, we could have some sort of, I don't know, maybe a connection.
Well, it's funny because
between the two of us, a deeper one.
Well, it's funny because at the party, we started to talk about, so what would you insure? And he goes, well, if Godzilla damaged your house, I go, wait, no. If Gamera damaged your house, but Godzilla would make it your place atomic, so you couldn't insure that. He goes, oh, you're right. We'd have to leave the Godzilla. He starts going into the insurance stuff. So I go, monster insurance. So anyway, it was maybe. Maybe, but again, check it out. It's called M&A Masters Podcast.
Nice.
And as I mentioned earlier, we have got new merch up on our eBay store, including the new Monster Party T-shirt, the classic kaiju design by Derek Robertson.
Of the Boys.
Of the Boys.
Co-creator of the Boys.
Amazing.
Beautiful logo he did for us, and that is now available in a green and black variant that we had done up for Monster Palooza. We have many different sizes in that, so
we actually do.
We actually have sizes. We have different sizes, guys.
We have everything except large now.
I'm going to be Larry again.
That's not true.
We have large.
We're also very excited to have shot glasses now with the Monster Party logo.
You can have that with your monster food. You can eat.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes, but don't put them in your dishwasher. They need to be hand washed.
Yes, hand washed. But yeah, if you're having that monster dish and maybe something kind of you don't like it too much, then just do that shot and make it all go away.
And the legendary Monster Party cap is back with billions of stitches. Billions of little tiny stitches.
Mucho el stitcho.
It's 16,000 stitches, which is still, it's a lot of stitches.
It's still a lot of stitches. I lost count after 13,000, but so it's a beautiful cap.
You know what? I don't know how many nights I've started counting. And I have to start all over again.
It's a high quality cap.
It is
high quality,
high quality cap.
My cousin doesn't. My cousin doesn't have merch though.
Oh wow!
I'm sorry.
I think his merch is his very successful business.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And the Monster Party PPE cloth mask is still available.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Now, I'm not sure how that stops monkeypox. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. But get creative with it if you think that'll help. And certainly it'll help you with the previous nightmares that we've been living through. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And to find our merch, look on eBay. Our vendor name is Monster Party Store. It's easy to remember, so check it out. And if you happen to be a Patreon member, with your purchase, we will throw in goodies, free goodies, courtesy of Jason Lindsay and Biff Bang Pow Toys and Ted Haynes, friend of the show, creature creator extraordinaire.
That's right.
Yeah, see how generous they are.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I may also throw in some things. You never know what you're going to get. I could, pluck something down from one of my shelves or go into the recesses of my lost items. And,
my God,
you could be the recipient of some lost treasure, just like this episode.
Ooh. So what is this Patreon I'm hearing about? What can you tell me about this Patreon?
The hell is it?
What is Patreon?
What is it?
It's like pondering the universe. There's so many ways to answer it, but there's only really one correct way.
Is it a dish? Is it a dish best served cold?
Oh no! I'm sorry. Yes, that's revenge. But I don't know. Maybe if you were using Patreon as a way to get back at someone, I don't know how that would work. But it could be a dish best served cold. So that's true. But Patreon is this platform where when you sign up, you will have access to bonus Monster Party material. Now, this could come in the form of bonus episodes or clips or home movies or shows that we've done, Monster Party masterpieces. And speaking of Larry's collection, he has Larry's Toy Time. You get to see his great stuff. And, we all, as much as we rib him, we always enjoy his massive collection.
There's some fun things in there.
He's got some great stuff. Yes.
But we all have really...
Stop.
Great collections. We do.
Look, I know that. Look, Larry, I appreciate that over the years you have honed this performance where you pretend to care about us and what we collect. We all know deep down inside. It's like the fucking ape law. It's like number one, I win. Number two, they have number three. Oh, they took it out of the package and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Worthless.
Well, for listeners, we all have wonderful collections.
Ape shall not eclipse Larry's toy collection.
but the point of this,
ape shall not open ape action figure.
The point of this is that there's Larry's Toy Time. There are many things that can be found on Patreon.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's a good time, and on top of it, we've been doling out these excellent video logs that James has been putting together of our famous trip to Japan. And talk about like lost episodes, because those are also, and we've said this before, but we forget. It's so long ago now.
Yeah.
7 years.
Yeah. And we miss it. We so want to go back, but we can't. And all we have are these videos. And when we watch them, it's like, oh, wow, I forgot all about that moment at dinner.
Matt, it's so great because we did, between James and I, we shot so much footage, and thank goodness we did. I mean, watching what James edited, it's like I'm reliving it. It's such a joy to watch.
Yeah.
And talking about forgetting stuff. I mean, like, we have conversations that I didn't remember having. That's so weird to see that, but it's great.
Yes, it is. It's a really good time. And so, that's just yet another thing that you can find on Patreon, but you have to join.
Well, I got to say, with all of that content, it sounds wonderful, but there's no way that can be affordable.
Well, it shouldn't be. It really shouldn't. We should be charging a lot more than we are. But
aren't we?
Well, no, because what we are charging is what we started charging right from the very beginning, and that is $5 a month.
Wow, that's insane.
$5.
You can't get kaiju sushi takeaway for that price.
No. For $5, you got to eat it there.
Wow.
They won't even give you the takeaway container.
Well, that is a deal.
It is a deal. Yes, it is. And so, it's and it's not that hard to join. All you got to do is you go to patreon.com, you go to Monster Party, click join, follow the instructions. And next thing you know, you have a literal, well, not a literal, a virtual buffet.
There you go.
Tasty treats for your mind, body, and soul.
And speaking of tasty treats, we are also on social media.
What?
Like the kids.
Like the kids today.
Like Justin Bieber and Fabian.
They're all looking at their flip phones now. That's what the kids are doing.
Their flip phones.
We are on Twitter at Monster Party HQ. Instagram is also Monster Party HQ. Facebook, Monster Party TV, and YouTube, Monster Party TV. And hey, whatever platform you're listening to us on, please take a moment, find a way to write us a review. We would love to hear your thoughts, and we will read them on the air.
And not only will we read them on the air, but we will also come up with a way to eat them that's delicious.
Ooh.
A chili sauce, I'm thinking.
Chili.
On that note, I am Matt Weinhold.
I'm Shawn Sheridan.
I'm Larry Stroth.
And I'm James Gonis.
Keep America fed!
And eat monsters before they eat you.
Anybody got a toothpick? I got a little gamma stuck in my tooth.
I got some Gamma floss.
I'm going to start with Jane Eyre because I think she'd be delicious to eat.
She would be good. Yeah.
You know what? Let me tell you. No.
Oh, you devil. You devil.
I'll tell you, Joan Fontaine looks absolutely stunning. She looks beautiful in that film.
She was a looker.
Yeah, she was.
And I will say, I think people say Orson Welles and Citizen Kane, but in Jane Eyre, I think he looks his best. It's like his most majestic, and he's coming off the whole Fame thing, and his voice is terrific, and his presence.
Always,
yeah.
I love how it's like it's from our vaults. It's from,
and it's nothing dated, I'm sure, about it because it's just talking about.
No, it's not dated. It's not dated, Shawn.
Does someone say, "Oh, darn that Obama"?
Oh man, that Buchanan. And we could put in like some scratchy sounds, And...
Did you hear about the latest blacklisting today? Man, that's terrible.
Blue Coal presents Monster Party.
And because this is Monster Party, and at parties you have. Sorry, did you hear that?
I did.
What was that?
Nova?
That was Gina
sneezing
in the other room. let me restart that.
Is she a Bajoran who's pregnant? For you Star Trek fans.
Let me restart here. Okay.
On that note, I am Matt Weinhold.
I'm Shawn Sheridan.
I'm Larry Stroth.
And I'm James Gonis.
Keep America. I'm sorry, I almost said hungry.
Keep America hungry.
No, keep America fed.